the radical rebellion of rest. There is a myth we have been sold, a myth so convincing that we have built entire identities around it. The myth that strength looks like never breaking, that resilience means you keep going no matter what, that if you stop even for a second, everything falls apart. And for Black women, especially those of us who have been holding down entire households, leading teams, raising children, carrying communities on our backs, this myth is not just a story. It is a survival strategy. It is the cape we have been wearing so long, we forgot it was not stitched to our skin. But here's what nobody tells you: that cape, it is heavy. And one day you wake up and realize you cannot remember the last time you rested without guilt. You cannot remember the last time you said no without apologizing 3 times first. You cannot remember the last time you chose yourself, not because there was nothing left to give, but because you decided you were worth choosing. I had the incredible honor of sitting down with Kimberly Randolph. And let me tell you, this conversation changed something in me. Kimberly Randolph is not just making waves, she is redirecting entire currents. She is opening doors that were never meant to include us and then holding them open so others can walk through. Her work is about more than success. It is about redefining what freedom looks like for Black women who have spent their whole lives in survival mode. She is transforming the landscape of leadership, entrepreneurship, and well being for Black women, creating pathways where there were only walls. And what she shared with me, what we are going to unpack today, is a roadmap from grinding to grounding, from doing to being, from strong to soft. Because here is the truth: softness is not weakness. Softness is the most radical act of self love you can commit in a world that has been asking you to be everything for everyone except yourself. Let me tell you about Tonda Smith. Tonda is a Black entrepreneur who, on paper, had it all together. She was leading, she was building, she was showing up, but inside, she was drowning. Financial trauma, mental health struggles, the weight of being the only Black woman in rooms that were not built for her. It was crushing her. And the worst part, she thought she had to keep going. She thought stopping meant failing. Tonda spent years feeling isolated, burned out, constantly proving her worth in spaces where she was often the only one who looked like her. She carried the weight of representation like a second job, one she never applied for but could never quit. Every meeting, every pitch, every moment of visibility felt like a test she could not afford to fail. And the internal battle, that was even fiercer. Self doubt whispered that she was not enough. Imposter syndrome told her she did not belong. And the lack of mentorship, the absence of anyone who truly understood her experience, left her feeling like she was navigating a maze in the dark. But Tonda did something most of us are terrified to do. She stopped, she went to therapy, she set boundaries, real ones, the kind that made people uncomfortable. She joined leadership programs designed specifically for Black professionals, spaces where she did not have to translate her pain or shrink her presence. And slowly, she started reclaiming her joy, her rest, her freedom. Tona became a visionary leader, not by working harder, but by working smarter and softer. She shifted the narrative around success for Black professionals, helping others break free from survival mode. Her transformation inspired the creation of supportive networks and leadership programs that are changing the landscape of representation and empowerment. She proved that the fiercest fight is not always external. Sometimes it is the one happening inside you, the one where you have to choose yourself over and over again, even when it feels selfish, even when it feels scary. And here's what Tonda taught me, and what Kimberly Randolph reinforced in our conversation: embracing softness, choosing rest, setting boundaries. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. They are the foundation of a life where you are not just getting by, you are actually living. Now let's talk about Jill Hunter Dubose. Jill is out here dismantling barriers for Black women entrepreneurs. And I mean literally tearing down structures that were never meant to include us. She is advocating for financial products tailored to Black women, for mentorship from people who have lived our experiences, for networks and incubators that do not just tolerate us, but actively support us. Because here is the thing: Black women entrepreneurs face systemic discrimination every single day. We are expected to carry entire communities, to never break, to always be strong. We receive a fraction of the funding that our white counterparts receive. We navigate systems designed to exclude us. We face bias in boardrooms, in banks, in every space where capital and power are distributed. And when we do break, when we admit we are tired, we are told we are not cut out for it. We are told we are not resilient enough. But Jill said something that stopped me in my tracks. She said the myth of the strong Black woman is killing us, that we have been so conditioned to be strong that we have forgotten how to ask for help. We have forgotten that rest is not a reward for hard work, it is a requirement for survival. Jill's advocacy began with recognizing this myth and the need to redefine strength, resilience, and success by demanding support and rest. She opened doors for countless Black women entrepreneurs, creating a blueprint for future generations. Her work has led to increased access to resources, investment, and community support, allowing Black women entrepreneurs to thrive rather than just survive. She is lighting a path for others to follow, shifting the expectation from mere survival to thriving. Jill's work is about redefining strength. It is about demanding support, not just for ourselves, but for the generations coming after us. It is about creating a blueprint where Black women do not just survive, we thrive. And thriving means we get to rest. We get to say no. We get to choose softness without apology. And then there is Tanisha. Tanisha's journey is all about vulnerability and community. For years, she carried the weight of emotional labor of being strong in professional spaces where she was often the only one who looked like her. She was exhausted, she was isolated, and she thought that was just the price of success. Tanisha's path was marked by years of emotional labor and feeling alone in professional spaces. She felt the pressure to remain strong in the face of adversity, to never let her guard down, to always have it together. The isolation was suffocating. The emotional exhaustion was real. And the expectation that she should just keep going, that she should never break, was crushing her spirit. But Tanisha made a choice. She chose vulnerability. She sought out community, real community, the kind where you can let your guard down and not worry about being judged. She redefined her understanding of strength by prioritizing her own healing and well being. And what she found was that softness, authenticity, being real about her struggles, that was the key to lasting success. Tanisha became a catalyst for others, encouraging Black women to build networks of support and to value their own emotional and mental health. Her story has inspired a movement toward vulnerability, community building, and self care among Black women professionals, helping to redefine what true success looks like. She found renewed strength, connection, and purpose, demonstrating that softness and authenticity are keys to lasting success. Tanisha's story is a reminder that we do not have to do this alone, that building networks of support, valuing our emotional and mental health, these are not signs of weakness. They are signs of wisdom. They are signs that we are finally choosing ourselves. So here's what I learned from Kimberly Randolph and from Tonda, Jill, and Tanisha. Resilience is your birthright. No matter what you have been through, homelessness, mental health struggles, job loss, being misunderstood, your ability to persevere is powerful and transformative. The journey from survival to thriving starts with refusing to give up, even when it feels impossible. But resilience does not mean you have to do it alone. It does not mean you cannot rest. It does not mean you cannot be soft. Healing requires action and boundaries. True change comes from seeking help, from setting boundaries, from letting go of toxic environments. Therapy, prayer, silence, these are not signs of weakness. They are strategies for reclaiming your mind and your life. They are how you move from survival mode to actually living. They are how you begin to honor the person you have always been underneath all the armor. And community and representation matter. Finding support, seeing others who look like you succeed, building networks, seeking mentorship, creating spaces for Black professionals to lead with pride. These are essential steps toward lasting success and freedom. When you see someone who looks like you thriving, not just surviving, it shifts something in your spirit. It tells you that you are not alone. It tells you that your dreams are not foolish. It tells you that you belong. Because here is the truth: you do not have to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You do not have to be strong all the time. You do not have to say yes to everything and everyone. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to set boundaries. You are allowed to choose yourself. And I know what you are thinking. But what if I let people down? What if they think I am selfish? What if I am not strong enough? Let me tell you something. The people who truly love you, who truly see you, they do not want you to break yourself for them. They want you whole. They want you rested. They want you free. And the ones who get upset when you set boundaries, the ones who call you selfish when you choose yourself, they were never invested in your well being. They were invested in your labor. And friend, you do not owe them anything. The truth is, we have been conditioned to believe that our worth is tied to our productivity, that our value is measured by how much we can endure, how much we can carry, how much we can give. But that is a lie. Your worth is inherent. It is not something you earn. It is not something you have to prove. It is not something that can be taken away. And when you start to internalize that truth, when you start to believe that you are worthy simply because you exist, everything changes. You stop apologizing for taking up space. You stop shrinking to make others comfortable. You stop sacrificing your peace for the approval of people who do not even know your story. You start to understand that rest is not laziness, that saying no is not selfishness, that choosing yourself is not betrayal. You start to understand that softness is not weakness, it is wisdom. It is the recognition that you are human, that you have limits, that you deserve care and compassion and tenderness, especially from yourself. And here is the beautiful part: when you start to show up for yourself in this way, when you start to prioritize your own well being, you actually become more effective, more present, more impactful, because you are no longer running on fumes. You are no longer operating from a place of depletion. You are grounded. You are whole. You are free. Kimberly Randolph reminded me that this work, this shift from grinding to grounding, it is not just personal, it is generational. Every time you choose yourself, you are breaking a cycle. You are showing the women coming after you that they do not have to carry the weight alone. You are lighting a path for them to follow. And that is what this is really about. It is about creating a world where Black women do not just survive, we thrive, where softness is celebrated, not punished, where rest is a right, not a luxury, where we get to show up as our full, authentic selves without apology. So let me leave you with this: you are not too much, you are not too sensitive. You are not selfish for choosing yourself. You are worthy of rest, of joy, of peace, of softness. You are worthy of a life where you are not just getting by, you are actually living. And if nobody has told you today, I am telling you now. You are enough, exactly as you are, with all your wounds, all your scars, all your imperfections. You are enough. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to take one concrete action this week, set one new boundary, say no without guilt, rest without explanation, reach out to a mentor or a friend and tell them you need support, join a community where you can be seen and heard, invest in therapy, prioritize your healing. Do one thing that signals to yourself that you are worth fighting for. Because this is not just about you. This is about the women watching you. This is about the daughters and nieces and friends who are learning from your example. This is about the future we are building together. A future where Black women are free to be soft, to be whole, to be human. Drop the cape, set the boundary, choose yourself and step into your era of softness, not because you have given up, but because you have finally decided you are worth fighting for. The world needs you whole, not broken. The world needs you rested, not exhausted. The world needs you free, not shackled to a myth that was never meant to serve you. So go, rest, heal, thrive, and know that in doing so, you are not just transforming your own life, you are transforming the lives of every woman who comes after you. That is your legacy. That is your power. That is your revolution.